Sometimes trauma doesn't come from one catastrophic event. Sometimes it grows slowly. It is woven into everyday life, in a look, in a silence, or in a misunderstanding. And for autistic people like me, trauma is not an exception. It is a given. I learned that trauma can be quiet. It can come from a lifetime of not being understood, or from the loneliness of always feeling slightly out of sync, or from living in a world built for a rhythm my body cannot follow. So imagine this. Your nervous system is like a string pulled tight. It's always trembling, always ready to snap. You see it in front of you? Well, that was my reality. Masking every day. Swallowing the storm inside of me. While the world asked me to smile, to perform, and to just keep going. My sensory world felt like a battlefield, to be honest. The hum of lights, the chaos of overlapping voices, the sharpness of textures against my skin. Each detail louder than the whole. The intense world theory describes this. Autistic people perceive life with heightened intensity. More colors, more sounds, more feelings. It is not that we are less, but it is that we are too much for a society that rushes, that never pauses, and that does not see. I often felt like I was swimming in a sea for hours, with no shore to hold on to, and eventually you go under. And that was burnout for me, again and again. And it's not because I needed to learn to tolerate more stimulation, but because the environment itself was hostile to my body. What I needed was not exposure, because I did that a lot of the time. What I needed was change, space and time. A way to recharge that was not dictated by productivity. My responses to this world were twofold: to flee or to dissociate, to vanish from myself or to vanish from the room. But healing asked something different of me. It asked me to come back into my body, to meet my senses not as enemies but as companions. And it was painful, unbearably so at times. Healing meant letting go of people, places, and a false sense of stability. But if something is built on shaky ground from the beginning, was it ever truly stable? Nature became my anchor. The rustle of leaves, the reflection of light on water, the sound of birds mapping the sky. For the first time, I allowed myself not just to see, but to absorb. To let these impressions flow through my body. My nervous system responded with honesty. Finally, a shiver or a release, or sometimes even tears. Relief, I discovered, is not an idea. It is not a theory in a book. It is a felt sense, just like healing. It feels like your body softening, your breath deepening, and your chest expanding as if for the first time. Trauma and autism are often intertwined, not because autism itself is trauma, but because living in a world that denies your way of being is traumatic. So to heal is not to erase this truth. It is to reshape your environment, to give your nervous system a different story to tell. A slower one and a kinder one. A story where you are no longer drowning, but breathing, fully and finally as yourself. Healing here is not about escaping the system, but about learning how to reclaim little moments of breath within it. End of the video. Thank you for watching.